Okay, so the painting is dry from the first session. So I'm remixing the medium gray to work on better transitions and details during the second session. And I like to think of all the shapes or objects and break it down to three different parts: the medium color, the body color, and the highlights and the shadows. And I like to mix one color and use it in all the different areas that have the same color to be efficient. So I'm not remixing every time I touch the painting. And if you ever put a wrong color down, take a clean rag and wipe it away. As you can see, I'm using a second brush to stabilize my painting hand for details. Painters use a long stick called a maul stick, and I'm just using what I have at hand here. It's hard to hold your hand stable, especially when you're working downward, not on an easel. And I use a clean, dry brush to blend areas, and it's an effective, quick way of smoothing out any rough transitions. Using a smaller brush to get in some details, and how detail is completely up to you. I'm just trying to get the sort of variety of surface textures. One is a little bit shinier and the other one is a little bit matte, but it's still glossy. So there's a lot of blending involved to create that effect. I like to use a square brush for sharp edges. It's actually a lot easier than using a skinny brush because it gives you a little more stability. And as far as the things like labels or the brand you see there, I'm not going to worry too much. Just want to give an impression. But one thing that is important, whether you're working on something really skinny like that string or a large area like the shadow of the mug, you want to make sure the shadows are very consistent, going the same direction. And you want to make sure the shadows are also blended, very diffused and soft around the edges of the shadow, so that doesn't compete with solid objects. Okay, and some of the last minute things, when I add some highlights, it's almost pure white, so the stainless steel pot looks like it's very, very reflective. And lastly, I'm going to smooth out the background so that it doesn't interfere with the focal point, which is just the life itself. So just generally kind of going up and down for the walls, side and side for the table, and blurring all sharp lines so it doesn't interfere.